Guten Morgen.
Morgen, we sit down. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen.
That's why it's not. Good morning. That's
All
why it's
questions
not on.
will be for you.
So great to see you all here. Thank you for being here to meet our incredible jury. I'm Trisha Tuttle. I'm the director of the Berlinale, and it's lovely to be kicking off our festival. I'd like to introduce you to our incredible jury and thank them all for being here with us. Shavindra Singh Dungapur is furthest down. Shavindra. Shavindra is a director, producer, and a hugely important champion of film culture and film heritage. His documentaries have screened at festivals all over the world, and he founded the Film Heritage Foundation in India, which is doing incredible work rescuing classics of Indian cinema. One of these classics is screening with us in Berlinale in the classic section, in which Annie gives it those ones, and we're really thrilled to have Arundhati Roy joining us. She wrote the film, and Shavindra is also the new festival director of the Mumbai International Festival, which is great news because I've seen the crowds of young people that gather at his regular screenings. It's like Bollywood-style events. So welcome, Shavindra.
Thank you.
Eva Pachinska is one of Europe's most respected producers, known for backing bold and very emotionally resonant cinema. Her long collaboration with Pavel Pawlikowski led to Ida, which won an Oscar, and also Cold War. She's also produced Jonathan Glazer's The Zone of Interest, which is another Academy Award winner. And she's got an extraordinary instinct for filmmakers who not only have strong and uncompromising visions, and often make quite challenging work, but work that really connects deeply with audiences. Welcome, Eva. Faye Duna comes to us with a really impressive body of work as an actor. She has a remarkable range across Korean and international cinema. She's worked with some of the great directors, Bong Joon-ho, Park Chan-wook, Hirokazu Koreeda in films like The Host, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and Air Doll. And also she's worked extensively across Europe and the US, here in Berlin with Tom Tykwer and the Wachowskis on Cloud Atlas and Sense8. And she'll soon be seen in the Zellner Brothers' Alpha Gang. Welcome back. We'll come back to our Mr. President. Men Badar Bam is a key figure in Nepalese new wave cinema and a filmmaker who has brought stories from the Himalayas to the world stage. His debut, The Black Hen, premiered in Venice, and it became Nepal's Oscar entry. His most recent film, Shambhala, made history by being the first Nepalese film in competition here at the Berlinale in 2024. And alongside his own work, he's really committed as a producer and a mentor for emerging filmmakers. Welcome, Men. Hikari, thank you for being here. Hikari moves between independent film and great television. We're really proud of the fact that her debut, 37 Seconds, premiered at the Berlinale and won the Panorama Audience Award. And her most recent film, Rental Family, is right now being released in territories around the world by Searchlight. It's a really beautiful film starring Brendan Fraser. And we're grateful that she's here with us. But she has also worked in directing great series like Beef and Tokyo Vice. So welcome, Hikari.
Thank you.
And Ronaldo Marcus Green is a director and a writer known for very beautiful, emotionally grounded work and socially engaged storytelling. His debut, Monsters and Men, won a special jury award at Sundance, and King Richard went on to receive 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. He's worked in television on Top Boy and We Own This City, and most recently directed Bob Marley, One Love. He's also a former talent. We're also proud of this connection. Welcome, Ronaldo. leading this incredible jury is our president, Wim Wenders. Wim Wenders is one of the most significant creators in independent cinema since 1970s, with films such as The Goalkeeper's Fear of the Penalty, Alice in the Cities, The American Friend. He helped really develop cinematic language and also redefine the image of German cinema. Highlights of his impressive career, and I could really go on all day because there's so many beautiful films, but for Paris, Texas, he won the Palme d'Or, Wings of Desire, Until the End of the World, Buena Vista Social Club. Across all of this work, we all, I think I can speak for so many of us, we respond to the wit and the humanity of this work. Even in his most recent work, Perfect Days and Anselm, two beautiful films, you see this great curiosity and interest in people. It's our great pleasure to have Wim Wenders as our jury president. I'm going to open up really quickly to our journalists, but I just want to start by throwing open the question to you all about what excites you when you watch a film. Oh. Who wants to jump in? What gets you excited when you watch cinema?
Me? You know, cinema is my life. And I run a cinema hall in Mumbai showing films where we get 1,000 people, and it's all free. And the reason why I keep it free is because cinema to me is like a temple. It's almost who I am and what I want to be, and it's the most beautiful part of my life which I experience through cinema, the world I want to see. And I'm so looking forward to being part of this jury because I'm going to watch some of the best films, and it's my first trip to Berlin Film Festival also. And thank you very much. I mean, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to jump in with this question? I can always come back as well.
Just in the line as we are here. So this is not my first Berlinale. It's first time in the jury, and I'm really proud and very happy, both stressed and excited. And this is what cinema is for me. Cinema is for me emotions and soft power. You know, we don't very often realize, or very rare we realize, how big power can cinema be and how it can at least trigger changes in the audience, you know, looking at the world around, looking at changing their perspectives. And maybe this is drop, you know, in the stone, we can maybe change the world for better. So that's cinema for me.
Yeah. Hi. So this is my first time at Berlinale, and I'm so happy to be here as a part of these like amazing people, as a part of jury. And yeah, cinema is, yeah, as you said, like it's my life too. It's like everything to me, and so beautiful. And I feel really lucky to be an actor who can live in the cinema, and I respect and admire everyone who works in this industry, and yeah, I'm so proud of it. Is it okay?
Thank you.
Doesn't get better. Well, I love cinema. Each time a film starts, you'll be thrown into another universe, at least you hope for it. And very often you are thrown into somebody else's universe. And that's a great experience, to get out of your own and be in somebody else's world. And sometimes even feel very comfortable there and discover things. There's nothing more beautiful. And I'm so amazed that you let people for free into the theater.
Right.
We should start that here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cinema gives me power, positivity, hope towards living my life as a human being. Thank you so much.
Here's to that.
Cheers to that, yes. Cinema to me, there's so many, I can talk forever, but I'm not gonna. But it was so great to be back here. But thank you so much, Berlani, for bringing me back. And it's such an honor to be sitting here with these incredible filmmakers that I always admired. So thank you for that. For me, first I have to say, it's the one way to discover world, right? We live in this living room or wherever we are, and you get to find what individual country and filmmakers has to tell a story. And that to me is such a beauty that we get to experience from your hometown. And so that experience I always love to take. And then also the empathy, compassion, I always receive that energy from certain movies that I always like to experience through the eyes of filmmakers, through the eyes of characters. So I die for those experiences. But for me, I have to copy with what Eva said. I think there's a power in the filmmaking that we could potentially change people's perspective by giving a certain message or certain energy. And if you catch it, great. If not, it's okay too. You get to experience 2 hours of escape. But for me, to have that and possibly to change people's perspective again, to make this world a little bit better place. So you can, for me, I like to incorporate a little bit of story that kind of give you a positive energy, positive feeling, so you can live your life a little bit better tomorrow, or you feel a little bit better. And I think that's one way to really have people understand what's happening in the world. We can hold hands together and then have understanding of each other so we can break this barrier in the world that we are constantly facing every day now. So for me, cinema is love. Thank you. And peace.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the opportunity to discover new voices, there's nothing like being changed by a movie when you sit in a theater and you see someone's life unfold before you. There's nothing more special. I think my life is just a series of movies. I grew up watching films that I could recite the lines to, and that's kind of how I live my life. So I'm just discovering all those new voices this week, and I can't wait to recite more lines.
Great. First question. Thank you.
Of Culture magazine Spirit, A Smile in the Storm, since the 16th living year. A big hello to the jury members. Wonderful to have you here. My question goes to Wim. As jury president, what do you expect from the Berlinale 2026 in the world? We were surrounded by wars. And maybe a naive question, but can movies change the world? And another question, as a director, you did also wonderful documentaries. Can you imagine one day to make a documentary about the Berlinale? Thank you.
No. You're all making it already. So, and yes, movies can change the world, not in a political way. No movie has really changed any politician's idea, but we can change as you said, we can change the idea that people have of how they should live. And there's a big discrepancy on this planet between people who want to live their lives and governments who have other ideas. So I think films enter that discrepancy, hopefully. Thank you.
We had a question, number 2 in the back.
Hi, my name is Maria Luz Clement. I'm from Quinótico, Spain. This is a question for Mr. Wenders and also and also for Trisha Tuttle. How do you think that the films can make this change in these dark days that we are living now?
Trisha, you start.
Sure. I mean, I think everyone spoke to this. I think when you watch a film, you go in a way that literature also offers you an opportunity to see the world through someone else's eyes. And I know that I've been changed many times by films, so I know that this is possible. I'm living proof that cinema can change you, and it's because you understand another person's point of view, which is very hard to do through dialogue alone.
I mean, you don't know anything if you watch the news, but you know so much more if you come out of a movie and you see a person in his or her situation, and you see his or her suffering, and you see how he or she would rather want to live. And cinema has an incredible power of being compassionate and being empathetic. The news are not empathetic. Politics are not empathetic, but movies are. And that's our duty.
Great. Third question, I think, was here. Raise your hand again. Yeah, I think the blue shirt.
Hi, I also have a political question. I was hoping to get a quick answer from everyone because since Eva said, change the world, this festival does not happen in a vacuum. The Berlinale as an institution has famously shown solidarity with the people in Iran and Ukraine, but never with Palestine, even today. So my question is, in light of the German government support of the genocide in Gaza and its role as the main funder of the Berlinale, do you, as a member of the jury, support this selective treatment of human rights?
I think. Does the jury want to answer? I mean, I think we also want to talk about films in the festival, but...
Well, films are political, as you just said.
Exactly.
So.
No, this is, the films are not political in the meaning of the word I think you think of the meaning of the word. The films are, as Wim said, it's about empathy. It's about trying to understand. It's about having, making your own mind. And I think this is really like... asking us this question is a little bit unfair because, we are trying to not, we use the word change the world, but of course we are trying to talk to people, every single of the viewer, and to make them think. But we cannot be responsible for what their decision would be the decision to, to support Israel, or would be the decision to, support Palestine, or, we can talk about Senegal and all the other wars, you just pointed the biggest, but there are many other wars where genocide is committed, and we do not talk about that. So this is very complicated questions, and I think, as I said, it's a bit unfair asking us what do we think, how we support, not support, talking to our governments or not. Because that's the politicians, I'm speaking for myself. I go to elections, I vote, using my, right as a citizen of Poland, as a citizen of Europe, of the world. And this is, I go to marches, I support causes which I think I should support. But all of us here may have other things and take other decisions. So I think asking us these questions and expecting the general kind of answer is not fair. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We cannot really enter the field of politics.
Yeah.
We have to stay out of politics, because if we made movies that are dedicatedly political, we enter the field of politics, but we are the counterweight to politics. We are the opposite of politics. We have to do the work of people and not the work of politicians.
Yeah, I think Wim just, summarized what I was trying nervously to say. Thank you, Wim. Yeah.
And vice versa.
Thank you both. And we've got a question at the back, please.
Hi, it's a question here from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca, from Correio da Manhã. Question to Mr. Wenders. Some of your films are defined as documentaries, but I think your entire body of work blurs the frontier between what we call documentary reality and fiction, fact and fable. How can we bring this discussion between these frontiers, between what is real, what's fiction, what's fantasy, to the cinema that's made nowadays in the world?
I think there's many movies right now being made, especially lately, that break out of these categories. In my book, it's a stupid division between fact and fiction anyway. The greatest stories are built on reality, and the greatest reality is made from myth. So it is, you cannot divide these two parts of what defines humans, fiction and realities. We need both. And I think in movies sometimes it's great if you see elements of both, and I love movies that are drenched with the reality but still tell a story. Sorry. I hope I answer for all of you. The next question I'm going to pass to some of you.
Amazing. Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Mariam. I'm from Georgia. I'm a journalist, and this is magical moment because we have same age, Paris Texas and me, because we born together in 84. And this is great opportunity for me and the chance to talk with you, Mr. Wenders. And my question is about your perception. What director want to say? How did it change during the years? For example, 40 years ago when you were working about Paris, Texas, and you were working about Wings of Desire and so on. Did it change during the years? And did it change now when new names, new directors want to say something new, and now you're sitting in the president of jury post and you would find to something new? Did it change during the years, or meaning is the same?
I'd like to join you in on this, but let me give a first answer. Because the beauty of movies are they change not only the world, but they change the filmmaker. Every film is an experience, and sometimes you come out drenched with a whole new experience, and you learn and you discover things that were beyond your horizon before. So filmmaking is a fantastic profession. I mean, most of us would do it if we were paid to do, if we had to pay for it. And it's an incredible, I wouldn't say profession, it's an incredible way to produce something and also learn something. So every film I've made has changed me, and I cannot say that I'm more than grateful for that, but I cannot say that I'm in any way still in the shoes of the person who shot Wings of Desire 40 years ago. What about you? Are you changed by your movies? Guys? You better.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I learned filmmaking is it's so hard. Like, it seems like you guys sit in the theater and you watch it, but it takes a lot of, the village to see the entire team who believes in the story to come together to make a story. And that itself is love, right? And so for me, I think it's just every movie, as he says, you learn so much. I learn about myself, how the universe works, how people are connected, and how, our thoughts, the power can potentially move things around too. So that's just my experience. But how about you?
Of course, it changes. I'm not an artist. I'm just a producer, or a producer.
Hey.
But anyway, this is even standing on the other side. Not even behind the camera, really. So it changes me personally as well. First of all, I always choose films I want to make and produce who touch the subject which is important for me as a human being, not only as a producer. And this is really going through all these journeys with the creators, with directors, with actors, with artists. It cannot, and the subject you touch, it cannot not change you. You just develop as a human being, as a person, and that's the beauty. So this is not only the job, but also, self-development process and journey, and that's wonderful.
So for me as a filmmaker, it's not only about changing me as a human being, it's also internal growth, not only as a creative person, as a human being. And for me, whenever I make each and every films, that gives me the different stage of transformation that allows me to play with the better space inside me, not only as a human being, as a creator as well. And for that, I'm always trying to discover through new stories, which is very interesting for me.
You see, as a jury, we're a work in progress.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. Carlos Grau from Spain. My question is for all of you. Specifically, I would like to ask Min Bahadur Bam. It's about the diversity and the impact of films, especially in European film festivals. Because as Tricia mentioned that Shambhala, that was screened here 2 years ago, was the first film from Nepal ever to be in competition. But I think that in Southern Asia, something is happening. In 2022, Joyland was the first film from Pakistan to premiere in Cannes. Then we have the case of Shambhala here. Last year from Bangladesh, Ali, a great short film in Cannes, the first time in Cannes, Bangladesh film won. And the opening film of this Berlinale is from Afghanistan, which is partially Central Asia, but also Southern. So I would like to ask you if something is going on in this region. There is some emerging film industry and the impact it has in European film festivals. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So please allow me to answer your question from my own experience, because the village where I was born and I grew up in the mountain, there was no cinema and there was no electricity at all. So from that village, I came up and alongside with my fellow filmmakers in Nepal. Actually, at that time, there was no industry at all, because the whole industry was influenced by the style of Bollywood. So my generation was the first generation who dared to speak out, to bring out the voice through narratives, through cinema. And I feel so honored and lucky to be this generation. And there are so many young filmmakers nowadays, especially when the news came out that I was invited as a jury member, the whole nation was really excited and the whole film industry felt so proud of it. And I could easily say that it's not only about me as a filmmaker. There is the whole industry, the whole community is growing up. And in this context, I would like to mention that the new narratives, the new way of cinema in the whole Asia, like from Japan to South Korea, Iran, and now it's moving towards South Asia. So I'm so happy and so hopeful for that. There are so many young filmmakers like at my age and even the new generations, they are really trying so hard to push themselves to dare to bring the new narratives to the world, not only to the Europe, to the West, to the Asia and all over the world. And I feel so honored and proud for that. Thank you so much.
We've only got time for, and I have 2 questions, and I've already pointed them out. So first one. Yeah.
Hi, hello, I'm Pavus, RTL Germany. My question is for all of you. You are now in the jury of Berlinale, but how did you judge a picture? What are the things that you are take a special look on? Is it just a story? Is it if you've been emotionally touched by a movie? Is it the technical things? So how did you, for your own, judge a movie that you can say, okay, this one is for me the best of the festival, for example?
We're still judging. We've just done for the first day, so we've got a long way to go. 22 films, but I think like what I feel personally is that the first thing you see how emotionally it touches you, how it moves you, how you feel, is exactly I respond as myself as a human being. The film must do that to me, to touch all. That's why we watch films, because we want to be emotionally completely connected with life. So if the film connects you to that life, to that world, to that image, Like for me, when people were talking about what does cinema mean to you, or movie, it meant Wim Wenders. Because Wim showed us the world where I had never been exposed to, and it sort of moved me, whether it was Wenders, whether it was Kurosawa, whether it was Tarkovsky, films from different regions. And I think, you know, I've been seeing a couple of films from different parts of the world, and it's a world which I never knew about that much, or I had never been. So it's an experience which I'm going through. It's that image which strikes you and makes you feel. Every image is that human emotion. It's you. And you're just reacting to yourself. You're seeing a mirror of yourself. And you want to experience that. It's exactly like filmmaking. It's always the journey. It's never the result. I never care about, when I used to make films, I used to just, in fact, I made an 8-hour-long film. I just went on making it. Never cared about the result. Yeah, that's my thing.
I want to point out one thing here as a jury. Being jury in Berlin is very different than being a jury anywhere else. Because in Berlin, you can be sure you see more facets of the world than in any other festival. And that's the great strength of the Berlinale. And each film has another approach. I mean, you can name a lot of categories by which you can judge a film or see a film. Each film and each filmmaker has his own approach to have a preference for story, for actors, for places, for issues. Every filmmaker chooses his or her own balance in between the million ways you can approach a movie. And you can be sure that nowhere else in the world will you see such a variety than here in Berlin.
Yeah. Last question.
Hello there, hi, Ben Dalton from Screen International. This is a question for Mr. Green. There were some lovely words said at the start about cinema from all of you, and one of the major topics in our industry right now is consolidation of major companies, including two with whom you've worked, Netflix looking to buy Warner Brothers. What are your thoughts about that, and particularly the potential for director-driven films of the kind showing here at this festival? What might that mean for those films?
The deal's not done, so I won't comment too much about it until it's complete. As a filmmaker, we want the opportunity to have as many eyeballs as you can to see your film. Whatever gives us that opportunity, great. I can only speak to my experience, obviously growing up, wanting to go to the cinema, you know, buying the ticket at 12 and then sneaking into the next ones. But my kids don't have that same experience. And, you know, I have an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they have a different experience of wanting to watch movies. So I think we have to adapt to the times when you know, when it's called. But I just hope that we have the opportunity to continue to make art for as many people that can see it in as many ways that we can see it. But the tide always changes, the pendulum always changes, so you never know. You know, I think people have seen my work in ways that you know, King Richard was a day-and-date release, and more people saw it online than they did in the theaters. So it wasn't the way I had designed the movie to be seen, but more people saw it that way than ever before. So I think you know, you don't know what the world has for us. We just have to keep telling our stories in the way that we can and try to share them with as many eyeballs that can see them. You know, the quality of work shouldn't change regardless of the format. So I think it's really up to us to uphold that quality and to make, you know, to try to make great films, depending on however they're going to be, you know, seen. So I don't know. But for the young filmmakers, I think there's more opportunities now than ever before. And that's a great thing, for sure. So I know I'm nostalgic for certain for certain things, but always got to keep an open mind and find new ways. And who knows what the exhibitions are going to look like in the future, so we'll see.
Well, I know who's going to sneak into a 23rd film. Thank you all so much, International Jury, for being with us and for your work and care this week. Thank you, International Jury.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. get a group picture.
Which one? Ah, in the front?
Yeah, in the front, there's plenty of room.
It's fine. I think she waved at me and I was like, okay, I guess it's me.
When she didn't ask, I was like, oh fuck, then.
Like the Israel one, he was like, no. I was like, your question is done.
And then
He
Claudio
wanted to
got
keep on
involved,
asking
right?
follow-up questions. Huh?
And Claudio was like,
Yeah, she was like, give the microphone to the ball. She was like, I was like,
I saw that. I was like,
oh, cute pig.
Day one commercial.
Let's take a picture.
Picture of a picture of a picture. I like this jury.
Huh?
I like the jury.
I like it too.
I think it's a good range.